Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm drinking coffee. Yes, I'm drinking coffee out of a Christmas mug, and it's Valentine's Day. It's just because it's clean and I haven't put away my Christmas mugs yet. All my other ones, I have to empty the dishwasher. But my back is a bit sore still, better than yesterday. Um, but I've been taking some Advil and putting heating pads and the TENS machine on my back. But I figured I canceled. I had plans for today. How's the snow? Is not bad. I paid for a one-time snow removal again because we had over 50 centimeters of snow. In some places, it was almost 3 feet because the wind blew. Um, like it was well over my knees. And once I got off my step, it was awful. It's like so. My daughter Since I pulled my back yesterday, my daughter shoveled just the pathway in front of the garage, and then we paid for somebody to remove the snow. And I had to dig out my one recycling bin of paper and the green bin out of the pile of snow because all the snow was shoveled on top of it, but was also blown on top of it from the snow this morning because everything was delayed yesterday. So schools were canceled, universities and colleges were canceled. Um, the garbage truck and race management was canceled. Even Canada Post canceled. So, you know, and government workers were told if they could telework to do that. And some people even like they tried to make it into work, but with all the delays and the snow, they some of them just turned around and said not making it. Um, but I know people who worked in at like Farm Boy, which is a grocery store, and like Walmart, they said the places were dead, 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 dead. Now they had to go to work, because they were working minimum wage jobs or just above minimum wage, and people still went out. Like people I know, after they shoveled about 2 hours of their driveway, and they managed to make it out. Like we're lucky. Our road is one of the first ones to get plowed because we have the school. But my friend who lives around the corner, like literally the next corner, and the side street behind us, their road doesn't get plowed till like 3 days after the snow. Um, and well, we've had multiple times the plow coming by, to the point that it pushed some snow into our driveway a little bit from the corner. I'm not too happy. I'm like, okay. I messaged my daughter when she comes home if she could shovel that bit because I'm like, it hurt my back pulling the green bin and the black bin out this morning. I was glad that it was delayed yesterday because I couldn't have done it, and well, my daughter probably could have, but she'd have to try and dig it out too. It was not it was a very quiet at home day. She did all of her homework. That was either due today or tomorrow. My other daughter slept until about 2, and then she started doing some of her homework of the stuff that she's missed. We're still working on that. She got to school on time today, so that was good. So, still working with trying to just get Abby to, like, if anybody has dealt with fatigue, like I don't know if they're just saying that she might have chronic fatigue um, syndrome because of how much she's tired, or if they're just like giving up on trying to find a reason why. I mean, they're still doing all these tests and stuff, but there's no treatment for it. From what they've said, there's no like there's no medicine, there's no treatment and stuff. You just kind of push through it. It's like, well, that's what we're kind of trying to do. But when somebody is like exhausted and that pushing them through to get to school, well, if they're still falling asleep in class, they're not going to do well. And this is coming from my child, my youngest, who I swear is a genius. I mean, she definitely has IQ. I'm sure she's gifted, but the testing for that is very visual. And considering she's blind, it's very hard to kind of fully get an accurate test for that. But she's as smart as a whip. So it's not like she's trying to get out of going to school, because she actually is the one that really enjoys the harder subjects at school, like biology and stuff like that. Like she loves English and the writing aspect of it. So when she's struggling just to get up and be alert enough to do the homework, it's rough. Where is all the others? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit later than I usually am on, just because I got her to school and then I decided to take a shower. Because my hair was very naughty. Not my hair was very naughty. Oh, I'm wearing a new dress I got from Walmart. They had clearance. And I got for $9. I got this and a pair of Jordache jeans. They're like, they have a bit of spandex. Only thing I don't like about it, I didn't notice, but they have fake pockets in the front. Like there's no pockets. They just have a sewing that looks like a pocket. Now they have real pockets in the back, but for $9, I got both of them. I got them at my last grocery haul, which that video should be up soon. I still have to edit it. Um, but I'm taking well, I bought a bunch of stuff at Walmart that were not groceries, like Rubbermaid bins and some containers and the clothing for myself because I was like, ooh, clearance. Let's see if there's anything in my size. And there was, so I didn't even try it on. I'm like, that's my size, and for $9, and it's nice. It's like a T-shirt one. So coffee. So today, I didn't do the maple syrup on the snow yesterday because of my back, but so I'm going to do that today when the kids get home because we're going to do that for our dessert tonight. And tonight's supper for Valentine's Day, there's a local lady that does food that's either, it's kind of like a fusion type. She does Caribbean, Indian, Chinese, Filipino type food. And so we ordered from her. She does it in um, a restaurant kitchen, so it could be. And then she also offers her food at a local grocery store butchery. Like they have a little hot buffet, so she sells her food there too, and that's really good. So I asked if she was able to deliver it, and she said, sure, just, depending on the time. And I said, well, it doesn't matter. Anytime, because she goes, it would have to be after 6 or, like, about 6 or so. I'm like, that's perfect because my husband's usually not home until 6:37 anyways. So, um, we're having that for supper. Looks like it fits. So yes, they opened up the city. The city is back up. Hubby went to work. He was a bit delayed. The girls went to school. The snow removal, once they've plowed the area, it's done. We did not lose power, which was good. I plugged in for Christmas. I got a lantern flashlight that you actually charge. Oh, hello, princess. That you actually charge with a cell phone cord. So I had that charged, just in case we lost power. I had, um, what else did I have that was ready? Oh, and I had batteries for like cell phones or any other devices that we could charge with a USB cable, ready. So, because hubby was saying that the news was saying that with the amount of snow we had, it might be um, too much on some of the trees that might knock down power lines or on top of the power lines because our power lines in in the area, most of them are on like the telephone poles made of trees. They're not the cement poles. Um, so and they've been around for, you know, decades. That they're only slowly repairing, like replacing them with more sturdier options. Um, but we did not lose power in our area. Some areas of the city did lose power. We're lucky. Um, my vents in the back though. Remember I did a video of checking your vents. I checked my vents and they were the snow was right up to them, and it's like, okay, this is very rare because the way that they're blocked by the air conditioner. So, but the snow on top of the air conditioner was 2 feet. Like the wind just blew a bunch of snow. So I got Rowan out there shoveling to uncover them, um, and to put her hand in the vent to just check to see if there was any actual snow that went up inside, because they were right up to the lid. Like, oh, like they weren't fully covered, but I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I don't want to. I'm like, well, do you want to die of carbon monoxide poisoning? Because that's what's going to happen. Like, if these don't get uncovered, one of them is the hot water tank vent, right? So we will not have hot water. And the other vent is the furnace. Well, then our furnace is like came with the house. So the house was built in '88. So the furnace is over 30 years old. We're just waiting for it to die so that we can get a new furnace. We've been looking at the prices of furnaces and looking at deals and stuff like that. And if we could hold off till like May or so, usually around that time they have um, deals on furnaces. So I know last year, like we investigated, we got some quotes and stuff, and they're like, you know, but since then we've been putting money aside, so we have at least half the amount of a furnace, because we'd have to get a furnace air conditioner. Like usually you could save money on getting both at the same time. So we have about half of a furnace saved up aside. So, and a lot of these, the places that we looked at, they would do like 12 months without interest type thing. Hey, Amanda, how's it going? My hair's all wet. Today I was supposed to go and get my hair done, but I canceled it this morning. Well, postponed it because I'm like, my back is still sore, and I wouldn't be able to grab the bus to get there early enough. And then if I was getting my hair colored and cut and stuff like that, that's going to take a couple of hours. Just sitting in her chair, like I mean, it's in her home, so I'd be sitting in her kitchen chair for a couple of hours. My back could just not handle that right now. Um, so I postponed it till next week. I will touch base with her. Yes, Steve just did ask about you. I He's like, "Where's Stove Lady? Where's everybody?" This is very unlike people. I mean, it's a Thursday, but it's got something. I got a piece of skin on the side of my nail. I don't necessarily want to pull. I'm using. I had a piece of skin. I don't know if you can see right there, hanging off the side of my nail. I'm going to use the nail clippers to try and cut it there. Because I don't. If I pull it, where's the camera? If I pull it, it will go deeper, and I didn't want to do that. I should put some lotion. I don't really do anything with my nails. As you can see, some of them have broken. Some are longer, some are not. My longest ones are my thumbs. But I don't do anything really for them. My daughter sometimes paints them. So today I'm going to be making maple syrup taffy, which I'm going to do a video on that for Valentine's Day for supper tonight. And I'm going to make heart-shaped brownies. I'd like to paint them, but that's about it. See, the problem is if I paint them, they peel because I'm always using my hands, and they look like crap within a day. So it's like kind of a waste. Like if I ever got them done, I've gotten them done professionally twice. Once when we were on vacation, and once for a wedding. Hi, Rowan. I'm live streaming. Oh, Rowan got into all three of the programs that she applied for: the child youth worker, the early childhood education, as well as DSW. She finally checked last night. So now she has to make a decision, which We don't know what she's going to make now. I would probably suggest doing DSW. Amanda's like, Ray Rowan! Now show us her face. There she. Oh, she ran off. Oh. Steve says, way to go, Rowan. But she might choose, I don't know, she might choose the youth child worker just because only one of her close friends is actually going to Algonquin. Why would I would say why would you? Because you might choose it because you'd have somebody to know. I would like if I knew like if I knew somebody was going in that program and I had the choice of not knowing anybody or knowing somebody. I want one to set me up. For yes. I don't really care. Okay, fair enough. She wants one, whichever one sets her up better for being an educational assistant, which both. Not even just that. I just want to. I don't really care about the educational assistant. I just care about the. I forget what it's called. Your diploma? No, I'm not talking about that. Okay. Okay. I see. If I were in her positions, I would probably have a hard decision. I would probably still do the DSW just because there's more avenues to go with than youth child worker. Um, but um, yeah, you don't want the soup. There's still chicken. There's chicken fingers in the fridge. You can make a chicken finger wrap. Okay. There's porcupine balls. There's mashed potatoes. There's what else do we have? There's some pizza, Hawaiian pizza I took out of the freezer and put back in the fridge. Um, what else? Yeah, you don't like tuna, so there's tuna cakes, but you're not going to eat that. Make the best decision for your future, not because you have. Exactly, Amanda agrees with you. Yeah, she'll make the best decision for her future. I just thought like if I were in her position, I'm like they're all three programs are ones that they look for educational assistants. That's what she had said she wants to do. DSW has other avenues that can and more opportunity to advance in the educational assistant section because from DSW she could also take some courses on braille or on sign language and stuff like that. And they are definitely looking for EAs that have braille or sign language um, training because those ones are harder to find while the youth child worker gives you still the same aspect, but you don't have as much um, training with those with a disability, as far as I know. Hey, Tunic. Yep, my Gmail is in the description. It's I believe Jenn and Kanata YT for YouTube at gmail.com. They're in a square container. Okay, let's go and look at the fridge and try and help her find the mashed potatoes. Ouch. Oh. Need a new body. I need a new back. Lower back and shoulder. Anybody have one that would trade? Do-do-do. No, Rowan comes home at lunchtime because we live across the street from the school sometimes. So she has 40 minutes of lunch plus she has a spare after lunch. So she gets an hour and 50 minutes. So she has an hour and 50 minutes for lunch. No, just yesterday. They were off yesterday for the snow. Now I'm just gonna look in the fridge here for the mashed potatoes. Oh, the snowplow went by again. I'm like, oh. Yes, the joys of what's that? Oh, that's salad that needs to go in the green bin. because that's a bit old. I'm going to put you in the fridge here while we try and look. Ah. I'm trying to use another. Need two hands. That's Rowan. I think I will grab some shrimp rolls that Rowan made. We had that's leftovers from last night for myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. That's leftover rice. Oh yeah, there's leftover rice and lamb curry. Do. I have to stop. Bending hurts my knees and my back. Let's let this. What? No, we don't have Nan. I have papadam that you can cook up. Oh my gosh. I'm just knocking stuff out. Okay. I'm hiding from the stove. Yeah, you don't. There's the mashed potatoes. Did I put the curry? I might put the curry in the garage. Do you want the curry?
There's no there.
So there's papadam you can fry up.
Oh.
You just put oil.
I had to be able to grab it.
What?
I wasn't there to grab it.
Well, papadam you can scoop.
Different.
No. You want the porcupine balls?
I have them.
Oh, you have some? Okay, good.
I'm going to take one and then
Because I was going to say there's another container in there.
Wait.
Yeah. What? Did you get my message about shoveling?
That's not gonna
Okay, Rowan, can you help pick up the stuff that fell on the floor here? Yeah, you don't want to see the stove. You want to see the stove? The stove is full of dirty dishes, right? That's my stove. It's not. It's what happens when you're hurting your back and you just don't want to do the dishes. Speaking of which, I am going to have... Yes, make the kids do them. Yes, well, we have to get the dishwasher empty so we can fill them up. But sometimes the dishes don't get clean perfectly, or they need to be cleaned again. So there's that. Just grabbing. Like the snow is almost above my pallet garden that's there. Well, you know how tall the pallets. That's from this winter. That's where I'm going to plant potatoes in next in the spring. That's my plan. Arg, my back. Need. Oh, I'm not on you. I'm close to you. I may be touching your furry tail, but I'm not on you. Okay. There we go. We are back. Let's see, this is fish sauce for the Vietnamese salad rolls. So Rowan made them. She did a really good job of rolling them. So we had rice paper, vermicelli noodles, julienne carrots, cucumber, basil, and shrimp. And lettuce. Thank you, Ron, for reminding me of all the things. So they're actually really healthy and yummy. And then the fish sauce, you can make it yourself too. You can make it fish sauce, and there's like hot sauce in there and lime juice, and there's some water and sugar. Let's see. That's what they look like. There's the shrimp. Only problem is the rolls the next day, sometimes they burst, so they're not as great. But you get three up.
Still great.
They just fall apart. They're not as they're better when they're done the first day. But there's still two more left. Using up the leftovers. All I can say is lunches this week. And probably if we don't finish up the porcupine balls that I left in the fridge. So I froze one whole tray. If you saw, did you see that? Yeah, of the porcupine balls. I don't know if you saw that yet. Made porcupine balls. I made two trays with the sauce. One and one tray without sauce that went straight into the freezer. Two trays in the sauce, cooked it up, froze one with the sauce in the freezer for next week or a week later, another week. But the whole tray makes about, I think there's 12 or 15 balls, about that size. So it feeds my family at least twice, if not three times, like two suppers and a lunch, depending on how many people want. Usually people eat about two balls. But made them on Monday when I had Bible study on Monday, so I didn't have supper with my family. Um, and people weren't that hungry on Monday compared to, because they were just getting off of being sick on the weekend. So super yummy. You can make them low carb too by using, I think it's tapioca noodles or sweet potato yam noodles. Hmm. They are. Rowan made some lamb ones because I had still fondue meat, so I took out the lamb fondue meat, and we cooked up some of the meat in like just a seasoning, and then she put them in because she doesn't like shrimp. But making Vietnamese rolls is great to use up your little fragments of things. Like if you had some leftover chicken, leftover beef, or just a whole bunch of salad ingredients. You could do vegetarian. Cucumber, like there's cucumber lettuce and carrots in this one, and basil and or mint in them. Mm-hmm. And the rice papers, when you buy them, they make at least 2 or 3 meals of rolls. And now I got hiccups. Ah. Okay, I think I ate too fast. But I'm like, they're falling apart on me, but they taste so good. And if you get the already pre-made fish sauce that has the seasoning in it, then you don't have to try and make it yourself. On my Pinterest, there is a recipe to make these summer rolls. There's a recipe for making fish sauce dip from scratch, like using all the same ingredients. I found buying it already pre-made is just as easy. and just as cheap. Because this one makes like the regular fish sauce is a little bit smaller than this, and this one we've had for at least 2 meals of Vietnamese rolls, and it's not even halfway done. While just plain fish sauce, you have to mix it with lime juice and sugar and chilies and ginger and garlic. So you have to have lots of different ingredients. And this was like $3 or $4 for the bottle, while fish sauce itself is about two something. But then you have the other ingredients. So it works out to about the same. And this tastes almost as good as the fish sauce you'll get at the Vietnamese restaurant. Let's see. But yeah, in the summertime, we like having Vietnamese rolls because it's a hearty enough meal. It's healthy. But it's one of those meals you don't have to heat up in the kitchen. Like the most thing you have to heat up is cooking up the meat. As even with the rice papers, we just take one of these plates and we put hot water in it, put the rice paper in, take it out and roll it. Exactly, you can make it however you want. Like if you don't want to go and make it like Asian, you could take any of your leftovers and throw it. Leftovers, that's what I found with the egg roll wraps. I was making leftovers in the egg rolls and then deep frying them or fry them in the oven, like in baking them in the oven. Leftovers wrapped in a package don't taste like leftovers. But I was making them like egg rolls. I took some chicken fried rice. My family was tired of it, so but I threw it into an egg roll with a little bit of sauce, like I don't even know what, like one of the Asian sauces that I have. Put it in the egg roll and then I deep fried it and they served it as egg rolls. My family loved it. I'm like, okay. Anything my family can eat with their hands, like a sandwich or a roll or a samosas or that, they absolutely love because it's like snack fun food. And same with samosas. If you like curry, you can take any of your leftovers, add some curry powder to it, literally, and shove it in egg roll wrappers and make it like samosas, or make a dough with that. You can make put it in with samosas, like make a dough, make a ball, shove it in there, and then fry them in oil. Yes. Oh, I dipped it in the fish sauce. So I'm dipping it. I put the fish sauce. This one. That's the brand of the fish sauce. It's already pre-made. It's about $3 or $4 this bottle, and it's already has basil there. Already has all the seasonings in it. Like you could see, it has chilies and garlic and ginger, and like has sugar in it. So yeah, it says anchovy, water, salt, sugar, chili, garlic, vinegar, sodium benzoate, MSG, monosodium glutamate. So now you can get just plain fish sauce, which is just the anchovy flavored fish sauce. But then you have to add sugar and lime juice and chilies and garlic and ginger. So you have to have a lot of different ingredients on him. This is $3 or $4. The bottle just about the size, maybe a little bit smaller, of just fish sauce, which is very strong and salty. So you have to add stuff to it and water it down a bit. Uh, it's about two something. So this being, $1 or so more, that's already done. I don't have to do anything with it. So And I mean, you could do it low carb. Like I think these ones are tapioca noodles, so I don't think it has as much carb as the other ones. But you could do them with the glass noodles that are see-through. You could do it with no noodles and just have it all lettuce. Scroll. Well, these ones I got at the Asian market. But you can get normal rice noodles or sweet potato noodles, or sometimes the konjac noodles, which is a sweet potato noodle that has like zero carbs. They also have them called miracle noodles, the ones that are zero carbs, or they have like negative carbs that you eat them, but as you digest them, they take away more carbs. I don't understand. It's like science or something. Or zucchini noodles. Exactly. Like you could throw any, so throwing a bunch of vegetables and some meat, like any leftovers, spiralize it up, throw it in here. What I like is the fresh herbs of either basil and mint, or just basil, or just mint. But you could do them even like Mediterranean. Hello, Eric. How's it going? I'm eating some homemade Vietnamese shrimp summer rolls. That means they're not deep fried, they're fresh rolls. They have lettuce, vermicelli noodles, shrimp, basil, cucumber, and carrots. Yep, my daughter made them for supper last night, and I'm eating some leftovers. I mean, oatmeal. Well, oatmeal is good too. I like putting a spoonful of peanut butter in the oatmeal, or throwing some chopped apples and cinnamon, or any leftover fruit or that. Because plain oatmeal, personally, I find plain, but I don't like a lot of things plain. I always like to add things to it. But I do like oatmeal cookies. My favorite oatmeal, like if I'm going to do oatmeal, is the Quaker instant oats with the maple syrup and brown sugar. Not really healthy, but but good. Just seeing all the pieces that fell out of my rolls onto my plate, at least. So whereabouts in the world are you, Eric? Wait, don't forget to give a thumbs up. See, there's the rolls, and then dipping in the fish sauce. And this roll is falling apart. They hold it together better when done the same day. When they're leftovers, the rice paper wraps tend to split and break away. So it makes it just a little bit more messy. But I was just saying, you can use any leftover meat, um, lettuce, vermicelli noodles, any type of noodles. Heck, you could just throw rice in there too. Some cucumber, carrots, basil, mint, basil and or mint or both are really good. And they're a great meal to have in the summertime when it's really hot and you don't feel like cooking. But this gives you enough sustenance that A, it's fun to eat because it's a roll, so you eat with your hands. B, you can make it ahead of time, so you can make it at lunchtime, ready for supper, like, and then that way you don't have to have anything hot going on at supper time, because you have to cook the meat, you know. If you even have just little bits of leftover, so you can take like one steak with leftover, and you can feed your whole family, plus probably making leftovers with it, because you only need like one or two little bits of steak in the roll. Like usually the roll makes like, we use like 3 shrimps. My daughter was very generous with the rolls these time because this package we had really small shrimps, so she put like 6 in a roll. But it's very good. It's very healthy. You can make them low carb by using other noodles that are lower in carb. So where are you in this world? Are you in Canada or in the States or in Europe? Welcome back, Amanda. Now just eating all the pieces that fell. Of course, you had to go get coffee and hopefully something to eat because I'm eating. I'm just eating all the pieces that fell out of my rolls. That's the only downside of the donut. How is that falling into your low carb diet? For once, I'm not eating the donut and you're eating the healthy stuff. Yeah, I'm not judging you. Everybody needs a donut now and then. I mean, it is our birthday month, which we should be able to celebrate all month. Because anybody who has a birthday in February, like us, it's a crappy weather month if you live in the northern hemisphere. Oh, it's pink and sprinkles. Okay, and also it's Valentine's Day. hmm Did hubby get that for you? I sent hubby to work with a hot pink dress shirt for Valentine's Day. And he's like, "Oh, isn't that cute?" hmm Well, it's nice that you have a job that has free donuts. Are you guys doing anything for Valentine's Day? Like a special meal planned or a special dessert planned or something? Around here on Valentine's Day, all the major restaurants, like the fancier ones, have like a set menu. and they charge like something like $50 a person or something crazy. And it's like a 3-course meal or something, an appetizer, a meal, and a dessert. Sometimes it's a shared appetizer and maybe a shared dessert depending on what it is. I'm like, whenever I see those menus, most things I wouldn't mind trying, but a lot of times there's usually one thing on the thing, like an ingredient that my family wouldn't like, or me or my husband, if it's for just for us. Like certain vegetables he does not like, or he likes certain vegetables only raw, and he likes certain vegetables only cooked. So, or they'll do something frou frou. He's not too fond of frou frou. He'll try it, but he's like, why am I paying this much more to eat stuff that I don't even have a choice? Like, you don't even have a choice usually. You might have a choice of like 2 entrees, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Um, one of them's usually chicken. He's like, I hate chicken. His views on chicken. The only chicken he likes is fried chicken. That one he can eat all the time if it was up to him. Just move that way. Only thing with fish sauce is it's sticky, because that's the sugar part that's in there. Well, exactly as I said, it's more expensive. You have to set a certain time, like make a reservation for a certain time. I'm sorry, making reservations is really hard when you take the bus, because you never know when the bus is going to come. So you're usually there early, or you might be late, and they might give your spot away. Now just, hey, Mom, you missed me having shrimp summer rolls that my daughter made for supper last night. Just made sticky. Now I'm stuffed. My back is still sore. As you can see, I'm just walking very slowly. But my towel I had on my hair this morning. It's still okay. My hair is still wet. I took a shower. Um, what time? 10. An hour and a half ago. And my hair is still wet. Arg. Well, and if I use the hair dryer, so I had a hair dryer, and even had the diffuser thing. I think I still have the diffuser thing, but I have no idea where the hair dryer is. My oldest daughter is the only one that has ever used it. I've used it like twice, but if I do, my hair goes all poofy, and I don't like poofy. That charge. Okay, good. That charging cord. Princess is asleep and snoring. Oops. Just trying. There. Okay, I'll plug. I'm gonna lose you. There. Sorry. I was trying to plug my phone in because I noticed it was low. But there was another cord, and it was charging, as I was saying earlier, with the snow we had yesterday. The day before, I charged my lantern. For Christmas, I got a rechargeable lantern that you plug in with a phone cord, like a USB. And so I made sure that was up, because if we lost power, we'd at least have some lights. Like we have the flashlights and stuff, but then we'd have that to be able to sit down at the table. Because hubby doesn't like candles. Arc. Well, now I just moved my feet. yet. My hair, like you can still see, it's really, it's only like even the top of my head, it's still wet. Um, so Tom, are you doing anything special for Valentine's Day? So we had decided we're ordering some food in from a lady who does it on her own. She uses an industrialized kitchen, like a restaurant, and then with her you have to order at least the day before, and you could pick it up or get delivered. I asked if she could deliver it, and she's like, "Well, it depends on what time." And I said, "Well, because she goes, Valentine's Day is like her busiest day." And I'm like, "Yep, no problem. I mean, we eat late." So she goes, "It would have to be after like 6:30." I'm like, "That's perfect because my husband doesn't usually get home till 6:30. Like, well, usually 6:37. So we tend not to eat till 7 at least on any given day. Like last night we ate at 8. Hubby was home all day, but he went and lied down at like 6 because he had a headache and wanted a nap. So I'm like, well, supper's not quite ready because Rowan was making rolls, right? And he said, well, to wake him up. Well, we tried to wake him up, and he said, oh, he was coming. And then he's like, the next time is like he didn't come down. So he didn't come down to eat supper because he was just too tired. So he had his supper for breakfast this morning. So I know where Abby gets that. What are you doing for Valentine's Day, if anything? Um, so the lady that we ordered food from, I ordered a lamb biryani. We've ordered from her before, and the food's always been good. And she does like a fusion, so she does like on her menu that she offers. There's like Caribbean items, there's like Filipino items, there's Indian items, there's Chinese items, or Indo-Chinese, like a kind of combination of flavor profiles. So we're getting a lamb biryani, and then we chose an option that was like a meal that had samosa, vegetable samosas, General Tao's chicken, a shrimp chow mein, a chili shrimp. Like we had the option of chili chicken, like so it's spicy shrimp, and and then there was something curry. I think it was curry chicken or butter chicken. There was four things, and she owned and like there was four things plus the samosas, and it's going to be like $50. So there's four dishes and samosas. I'm like, okay, that's a really good price. And the dishes are like I've had her dishes before. They're quite big. And then the lamb biryani, it was going to be more. It was like I think 20. But it's a huge portion of it, and any leftovers will be lunches the next day, or probably lunches the next day. I was gonna say for supper. I'm like, no. So doing nothing. Can't even go outside due to my actual hip problem. No walking until ouch, Tom. That hurts. I mean, I pulled my back Tuesday night. I don't exactly know what I did. Like other than Tuesday was when we got home. Like that was the starting of the snowstorm and stuff. My driveway is full of ice. The sidewalks and stuff were full of ice, and it was just starting to snow. So there was light dusting on snow, and then I was going out there trying to shovel a bit, and I was slipping on my ice, but I wasn't falling. So I kept on like slipping and catching myself, which I know hurt my back a little bit. And then that night I was grabbing something, a bag that was, um, I had like one of the grocery bags, but it was kind of stuck in the bin. I put it on top of the bin, and then it kind of fell in the bin. So I was pulling, and I was kind of twisting, and it was like it wasn't extremely heavy, but it was a bit heavy, and I twisted, and I think that's what did it in, because I was sore that night, and I was worse overnight, like in the morning. That like I had heating pads on all yesterday. I used the TENS machine on my back. I took two, like in one day, took two hot baths, and um but today it's a little better. So today I was able to walk. Like I walked Abby to school. I canceled my appointment I had today. I was going to get my hair done because, as you can see, my you can see my roots. You need to get more of, yeah, see, my roots and some glitter. Here you can see my hair has grown, what, 2 inches since August, 3 inches almost since August. My hair grows fast, but I'm seeing some gray more than I want to see gray. But I'm rescheduling that till sometime next week, and that's about it. So today I walked her to school, and then um, I'll go pick her up. If I'll either pick her up or her and Rowan will walk home if she's ready at the time, because then Rowan's going to go babysit, and that's about it. And then she'll be home for supper. And then this evening I will make maple toffee on the beautiful. At least the only good thing about all the snow we got, like we got over 2 feet snow, like uh, 50 inches, 50 centimeters in uh, the lowest parts that I found, but over 80 oh, 80 centimeters in other spots. And in like my snowbank is almost as tall as I am now, and I'm only 5'4". So yes, I'm gonna make a video of the maple toffee. Um, I've made it before many times. Like it came up as a memory, not yesterday, the day before, from 6 years ago when we were at Scout Camp. Well, it was Cub Camp at the time. Abby was with me. I had made maple toffee, and you can see like she has a hat and she's sucking on the maple toffee on the popsicle stick, hat and mitts and snowsuit, and I'm out there in a t-shirt cooking on one of those Coleman stoves and putting on the fresh snow, and because I was hot apparently, and so I did that, and I'm like, oh, I haven't done that. Last time I did it was about 2 years ago, so gonna make that. Oh yeah, hilarious. And that was the camp that I did. I did the food for that camp, and I did the budget. I was able to feed all the cubs for the whole weekend, food wise, about $15 for the whole weekend, and they ate well. So not only did they have maple toffee, which was included, we made caramel popcorn. We had fruit and chocolate dip, like fresh fruit and chocolate dip for one dessert one night, and caramel popcorn was another dessert. We had roast beef and mashed potatoes and vegetables. And then for breakfast, we had pancakes and the fresh fruit. And that was the pancakes, fresh fruit, and chocolate sauce, too. Like we had for dessert one night and then leftovers for breakfast the next day, or vice versa. I can't remember. And we had at lunchtime, I think we made a big pot of chili and buns, but they ate well. And whenever I did camp and stuff like that, they always liked it because I could basically feed depending on the group. Like the larger the group, I could feed for less amount per person. Now, when because in beavers there was lots of kids, in cubs there was lots of kids, and in scouts there was less kids. So it was about 12 to 15 kids. It's harder to feed at $10 a kid, and then that's including outside. So like say $15, $150 for a weekend. While when you have 25 kids, it's easy to feed them for $250, you know? And because this also had to include all the things, so it had to include like the ketchup, if you're going to do hot dogs. Like people think hot dogs is cheap. Hot dogs are not cheap. You could because you could get the cheap hot dog for about a buck. The all beef ones here, they're about $3 or $4 for 10 or 12 because they've been trying to be tricky these days. They've been putting it for 10 instead of 12. But buns are always at least $2 to $3. So and they're for 12. So sometimes for 10. No, but they're usually for 12. So if you try and do it, you're spending for 12 hot dogs and 12 buns, like the good hot dogs and buns. You're spending at least $6 for 12. The average kid can eat at least 2 to 3 hot dogs. Okay? And we always planned for more because if we were, especially winter camp, we want to make sure that the kids are full. Nothing's worse than a hungry kid because if you're out in the cold and you're planning on doing outdoor activities like sliding or skating or building a quinzee or snowshoeing or just checking out nature, whatever, walking on the frozen lake, you need to have your belly's full of calories. So if you have a kid that's hungry and you're walking, they're going to get cold. If they're hungry, their body's going to be using to try and stay warm. While if they're not hungry, they're using the food that's in their stomach to stay warm. And we always planned for more. But then, we'd rather have more than having like run out. So we always planned at least two to three hot dogs. Like, every kids we'd plan 5 hot dogs. 2.5. Because there's always going to be that one kid that only wants one hot. But we also have other options too. Because, like, for example, I'm not a big hot dog person. So I'll have a hot dog, maybe two if I'm really inclined. But we'd have like hot dogs and like chili or hot dogs and soup or something that you could make really cheap, but you could feed. Like I could spend $10 on a big bowl of like chili, or even less on a big pot of like vegetable alphabet soup that the kids will love, and we'd have so much left over. So you have to kind of, you know, but $10 that would feed 5 kids for hot dogs, or I could spend $10 and feed everybody for soup. So that's kind of like how I feed my family also at home. Like we like we're kind of foodies, like we do like, hi stink bait, how's it going? Like we like more exotic flavors and stuff like that, which can be more expensive. But then some meals might cost a bit more. Like I made lamb curry because I had still lamb in the freezer from New Year's Eve. How to get a girl to stop sending me inappropriate messages? You can block them. You just block them or report them, depending on what thing. Well, maybe she likes feet. Who knows? Just tell her to stop sending you feet. In some places, they like feet. Okay, Princess keeps on moving from the sun. I took a video of her earlier. Get God, and then she would probably want to see your feet if she has a foot fetish. Princess has moved in the sun, wherever the sun goes. She was on the couch earlier. No, she's in the sun. Now, that's nothing to be scared about. Just ignore it. Like, connects with your chat name. That's true. The name, your chat name uh, does elicit something that could be misinterpreted. Well, okay, I don't know She's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I don't want to lose her, but the feet. What? I don't understand the. Well, because stink bait. So stink. If you think of on a body things that stink, farts and feet and armpits. But so okay, so the thicker part. Um, I've never heard that being a compliment. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Other than I just heard something recently on the mom's group that I'm on, where I am, a mom asking if it was common for her daughter was wanting to gain weight. And like, is this a thing now? And I'm like, well, yes and no. They want to be thicker. Um, I would change it to something else. Um, I because the name is odd, but you could do like I can't see what your picture is. Is there a raccoon? You could change it to what's that raccoon's name in Guardians of the Galaxy? You know, to ugly bait. Why to ugly bait? That's not really going to influence people to message you. Because if somebody says it stink or ugly, it's not something. I've got to be something negative than bait. Okay, I don't understand. I'm confused. But somebody says a sticker. Well, what it is that people that the girls these days are trying to get like bigger butts and small waists. So like baby's got back type thing, or like the Kardashians and stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, but that's not necessarily healthy. It's got to be a negative word. But why does it have to be a negative word? It's very very long. Maybe it can be stupid bait. Mm, maybe. I have ideas. I don't know. Well, that's why I said whatever the. Hey Google, what's the name of the raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy?
According to Wikipedia, an
Rocket.
adaptation of the character appears in the live-action Marvel Studios film Guardians of the Galaxy, portrayed by Sean Gunn via motion capture and voiced by Bradley Cooper. His real name in the film is 89P13.
You can do 89P13. I would not call me this at all, but your choice. Well, exactly. Like I don't know why you want something negative. Clickbait. That's if you want to use the bait word, clickbait. Like you know, or jailbait or jailbait. That's another one that's not necessarily completely negative. Fish bait or deer bait. I don't know. What do you use to bait? Yeah, exactly. Why bail? My whole channel is around being negative. Yeah, but you don't necessarily need to have that as your name, though. 788-555. Yeah, you could. Your channel has no content at all. Well, if she's cute, then why don't you ask her out? Like, I don't know. Like, if she doesn't live in the same city as you, there's no chance of dating her. Why? You're on. If she lives in the same city as you, find out information, go out for coffee, and see if you like the person. Like, if she's in another country, your chance of you're going to meet is slim to none. She doesn't want to. Is it winter where you live? Wear winter boots. Go to a coffee shop. You're not going to be able to take off your boots at Starbucks. Hey Google, who has the number 613-788-5555?
The answer is minus 5,730.
No. I can't figure it. Well, if you're in the bedroom, I'm sure there's other things that she's going to want to see. Or wear socks. Well, then she doesn't want you. Like, do you want somebody who's just wanting to your feet or not? Like, if she rejects you, she rejects you. Then she's not worth your time. If she doesn't reject you, then she might be worth your time. Well, you know there are more fish in the sea, right? Just because she's cute doesn't mean that there's not going to be other cute girls. And going after somebody who's cute is not. Looks fade. Look for somebody who you have a connection with, somebody who makes you laugh, somebody that has same interests as you, somebody who complements you as a person, like your yin versus your yang. You have to have some similarities and some opposites. Just because somebody's cute doesn't always mean that they're going to be cute forever. For one, B, there needs to be more than just looks to be a to be a person. But who, weird as a tribe. Okay, like weird are my people. You know, I wish I was as understanding of my weirdness as a kid than I am now, because all the weird people out there are all the ones that are doing their true self. They're the ones that are showing things that they like, things that they're interested in, and they don't really care as much as what other people think. Those are the people I like, because those are the people who aren't BSing me, aren't being false, aren't trying to be perfect, and then behind the doors are complete assholes. If they're a complete asshole, they're a complete asshole in front of you. You know, I'd rather know that you can be that person, be an ass, or not. You know, weird people, they are the ones that really are the creators, the entrepreneurs, the people who think outside the box. You know, we would not have what we have in technology today if we did not have all the stuff. Well, ask her out. She like that's what I'm saying. Hey, you like her. Most people for figuring out somebody to date, they it's about looks or about interests. Find out what her interests are. Ask her for coffee. Coffee does not lead to anything. So have coffee and ask her questions about her life, about her family and stuff. Also remember that just because somebody's, nice and stuff, when you start dating, you're dating not only them, you're dating their family. So if their family is completely off their rocker, doesn't say not to date them, just beware that that could be the case. Take her out to get a pedicure. There you go. So she might like that. With the feet thing, just tell her no. Exactly, I would say. And even if you're not comfortable now, feet are fairly personal. Like some people have issues even showing their feet in public. No, and nothing wrong with that. No, she's not going to think that. There's nothing wrong with being like a sexual orientation. You're just using that term as a derogative name. But no, she might think you're weird. But no, she just thinks that you'll just think that you don't like feet. There's nothing wrong if she likes feet. That's a little bit odd or different too. So just because she likes feet and you don't like feet doesn't mean that you can't still date. It just means that she has to let you be comfortable with showing with you showing your feet to her. You're just not comfortable showing your feet to her because you don't know her. It's kind of like, oh, I like shoulders or whatever. like, I'm not saying I do, but that's an odd request. But you don't get shown shoulders until you kind of get to know somebody. And you never know. You might date her and you might think she's pretty and stuff, but then when you have coffee with her and you have an actual conversation with her, she might not be your cup of tea. She might have just extreme likes or dislikes comparative to your likes and dislikes. And no amount of prettiness is going to make up for not having anything incompatible. Because I mean, what you're looking for, what you should be looking for, is for a relationship and not for a slam bam thank you ma'am. Have nothing to do with each other. I can't. Well, exactly. She asked if I would be okay with putting her. Well, it depends. like what? Well, then just tell her that makes her uncomfortable. First, you have to get together and talk and have a conversation with, versus chatting back and forth like what she like. This is the problem with today's day and age. I mean, like technology has allowed a lot of things to progress, but it also has allowed a lot of people to become extremely antisocial and do just chatting versus text, which you cannot see the inflection in her voice while asking this question. You cannot see her facial expression while asking this question. She could be seeing it to just kind of, ask you questions that maybe she has no idea. Like, maybe she doesn't even really like that. She's asking these questions to see what your answer is. Maybe she's using these questions to see to weed out the weirder ones, or to weed them in or whatever. Or she could just be asking the question to get off her chest and just get it out there if that is truly what she wants. And all you have to say to her is like, well, no, I don't really know you well enough to do that. How about we get together for coffee and we can see where it goes from there? Like, I mean, that's kind of just like jumping the gun um, on relationship goals. That's the thing. If I say no, what if she's not? Then she's not interested. If you say no, then she's not going to be interested. Talking to her for. Well, yes, but you talk in real life or just through text messages. Many girls put their feet on me. That's mostly to warm them up. Yes. Well, exactly, and that's the thing. That could be a shown of like, you know, like lying on the couch here, putting the feet on your lap while here, and you can massage her feet or whatever. Like, but if you don't like massaging feet, if you don't like feet, then it's usually to warm you up. Yeah, because us women we have cold toes. I don't know. This feet thing just came out of nowhere. Well, yeah, but I think that's because of the way that you're talking through text messages. A lot of people are more comfortable sharing either their weirdness or throwing it out there to see how you respond. Because if it's like it's not as big a thing as I think you're making it out to it. just just the I would just say just to it's not going to hurt to go out for coffee and see them in real life. Like she could just be saying these things to, you know, trying to weird you out. But it's not really weirding you out. You're just like, this is odd. This is uncomfortable. I'd feel the same way if I had somebody texting me asking to about feet and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's just odd. That's not my thing. But if that's your thing, that's fine. But like, that's just odd. Eh, it's not a bad. It's not a bad conversation, Amanda. It's might be weird, but could be worse. Well, he sounds fairly young. So they just read. Oh, okay. Good thing you caught that. Just chapstick, if you're wondering. My lips. The air is always so dry in the wintertime. I'm guessing he's possibly a teenager or a young adult. Just because if this is the things that weird you out, and if you're a guy and you're interested in girls, and the girls mention about feet, I'm sorry. I've most guys I know wouldn't be weirded out by feet. They'd be weirded out by other things. But all I'm saying is that you should learn to try and get to know somebody. And with so I'm trying to get this. I'm going to use something to tilt this up a bit more. Just to get to know somebody. But I think technology has helped a lot of people who 20, 30 years ago probably wouldn't have the guts to ask somebody out on a date. Not because that they didn't like the person, just because they were antisocial or very introverted and stuff like that. With all these different dating platforms and different ways of meeting people in your area or even in your country or even around the world, um, you it allows them to find a possible mate, finding somebody else who's just as weird or just as socially awkward as themselves. If we were going to get trolled, I just don't know what you mean. As I said, if you don't, change your name or don't change your name and just tell her the truth. I mean, the only way to honestly just be honest. Honestly, honesty really is the only way to go. I think it's just that we're telling you what to do, trying to give you advice, but it's not being taken and then just trying to share with you some information of what you should look for in somebody to date. Because honestly, a fetish in feet, if that's the worst thing the person has, That's not that bad. There's a lot of people that have a lot more weirder fetishes or weirder things or awkwardnesses that they have that might be the deal breaker. That might be your deal breaker. Then that's fine. That's your deal breaker. May as well, say so and see if how she responds. Why waste your time on something that's not going to turn out to be a good relationship? Just because she's pretty is not a reason to stick along in a relationship that you're not comfortable with. And right now, it doesn't sound like there is a relationship other than you think she's pretty. So, if that's the case, then you should look out for people who have the same interests as you versus this girl. I'm in on your toe. Yes, I know. No, it's more of just the cut. I think he was wondering if you were going to be trolling because some of the people that we've had pop in here, they've trolled usually right away, but they've trolled and talked about poop or whatever. Um, I don't think that you're necessarily trying. I think from just the way that you have your conversations that you're a young person, maybe a teenager, maybe a young adult, just one with not a lot of story is real because it sure is. It's weird. Very cool. It just said you want to with no feet in your face. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's just very well. I don't think he said anything about mess. Well, he said about going to the bedroom, but as I said, keep your socks on. But yeah, the place or coat. Oh, you brought that one. Okay. Because let's say there was another one that had just comments in the bedroom. Ah, okay. You were too quick for me to see the flash of the comment. Yeah. But that is also no offense to any younger people out there. A lot of people I know that are younger, like my kids' age, which just shocks me. I'm like, oh dear. These are the people that are the same age as my kids that could be dating them. Oh my god. Please help us all. I won't post the bedroom stuff, but I'm just gay. Yeah, yeah. We keep the channel PG, ish. But as I said, no offense. If you want a relationship, you want a relationship. If you just want a slam bam, thank you, man. That's you could get that at any bar, any place. There are, but that's really not going to be. You're never going to be happy with that type of experience. You might think so at the time, but really, that type of experience is not. You're always going to be seeking something new, and at some point, you're going to run out of something new. You know, it's better to seek somebody who you connect with, somebody you have common interests, somebody you have likes, similar dislikes, than to have this type of experience where you're uncomfortable with something. Yeah, no, no, it's more of just we try and keep it PG. So if you post something that could get offensive to, because I have kids on my channel. I have about 10 kids that I know that pop into my channel that are under 16, under 18, that pop in that they're either children of people who watch my channel or just kids that have channels themselves that I support too. So yes, yes, the F, yeah, yes, that's I tried to say that one, but sometimes I also have teenagers, and sometimes that word is a very good adjective because sometimes you're just like, oh, I don't know what to say. But I try not to say that online because I'm not, I try to be as PG myself, but I will answer any questions and then try to be honest. Honesty is much better than not. Or for you in the true, but still, your goal in life should not be trying to get lucky. Your goal in life, as any human being, is to find somebody that is that has the same interests as you, so that you can have a long-term relationship. A short-term relationship or just an experience is is not necessarily great goals. I knew many kids when I was in high school, that is all they wanted to do, was just to have the next experience or the next romp with somebody, which never might felt great at the time, but afterwards it makes you even feel emptier than before you went into it. And then if somebody's just there for the physical aspect of the relationship, that's not a relationship. You can get that physical aspect of that relationship by yourself in any way you want, or with a professional that you pay for the services. That's not a relationship. That's a means to an end. A relationship is learning about somebody, learning about their likes, learning about their dislikes, learning what makes them tick, what makes them happy, and trying to make the other person happy, like as a goal, like, and not for a payout at the end. Yeah, no. As I said, if you like her, if you think that there could be a relationship, and if this is just the only thing that there is, invite her for coffee. Talk with her in real life, not through chat. Tell her that you're uncomfortable with the feet thing. That's it. She'll either accept it or reject it, and then just move on. Okay, then just try it. If this is your, like, every person has their deal breaker. True. Well, look, every person has their deal breaker. You this might be like, for you, that might be your deal breaker. Something that you do that might be weird to her might be your deal breaker. Like, somebody I know puts chips on their sandwiches. It's odd. It's not necessarily a deal breaker. I'm still friends with them, you know. But if I saw them at work, somebody I'm working with, they took off their shoes and they took off their socks and had their feet on the table, that's rude. I don't want to see your feet, your stinky feet that you just took your socks off. I don't care if you need to air them out. I just don't want to see that. I would leave because I don't want to be surrounded by stinky feet on the table at work. So you just have to talk about her about this. Don't avoid this, and find out if this is a deal breaker or not. Well, well, if that's her thing, if she likes feet, some people like other things. Maybe therapy. Yeah, well, you don't go into a relationship trying to fix somebody, okay? And no, you don't go try and fix the person. You either accept the person or you don't. There might be always rooms for improvement, but your goal as a person going into a relationship is not to improve the other person. It's like girls finding those bad boys, the guys who have a motorcycle, or, you know, or and they go into a relationship because they're like, oh, they're so nice and sweet, but there's just a bad boy, but I can fix them. It's like, no, no, that's never going to work. You either accept them for who they are, and you get into that relationship, whether together you improve each other or not. That's one thing. Otherwise, you don't accept them and you move on, and somebody else should accept them. You should not be going to any relationship trying to change the person. Accept or tolerate or say exactly. You either accept and tolerate or say no. Like there's people in my life that I'm friends with, that I've been friends with for years, and some things that they do or some things that they say or some things that they believe, I'm not as close of a friend with them as I used to be, because their opinions, um, their likes or dislikes or whatever don't necessarily jive with me as much. There's other people that I've been friends with for years or even a short time that we have a lot of things in common, so we're much closer. Do I go and try and change people? No. Other than my own kids, I try and improve on them because they're still a working model. But that's my job as a parent. My job is not apparent to my friends. My job is not apparent to my husband, even though he's the one that keeps on saying he's my third child. He's my pickiest child. And that's true. But I don't necessarily treat him, I sometimes treat him like a child, but not usually. Like, not in any way that he finds offensive. So let's put it that way. You know. Well, maybe she just likes feet. Like, I mean, it's like boys like female body parts, girls like male body part. Well, not really. Sometimes they do. Like, because men like female body parts because they look interesting. Maybe she thinks feet look interesting. I don't know. I'm not her. Ask her. You know, it's actually quite a common fetish. Like, you can Google it. There's like groups. There's like groups in major cities where people who have this fetish get together like once a month and like try on shoes or get foot or give each other foot massages. It has absolutely nothing to do with sexual or anything like that. It's just they like feet. I don't know. Lots of men like TNA. Lots of lots of women like cowboys in jeans. Okay, we don't want you guys naked or anything. The nice tight, like not too tight jeans, or the cowboy boots, or the cowboy hat, or the fireman. Like same thing. Like guys like you know low cleavage or big boobs or small ones or whatever, or like the big butts like the Kardashians or whatever. They got these butt implants or whatever. I don't understand. I'm like, most people don't want a big butt. I don't understand why people like certain things. That's for them and to figure out. So, people who have a fetish of one thing usually doesn't have something the same kind of fetish on elsewhere. Like you think of fingers and feet the same. No, if they have fetishes on feet, they're not going to have necessarily fetish on fingers. You know, that's why there's like people like I know somebody when I went to school. She was actually a hand model, so like she had these beautiful fingers, like long fingers. She played piano and stuff, and so in the catalogs for um, department stores, they would hire her. Not like, I mean, she looked fine everywhere else, but they would hire her for her hands, and she would model, model the rings and model the gloves and model like things that hands did, because she had a beautiful set of hands. Who knows? Versus the whole body. Like, I mean, they sometimes did whole body stuff too, but she was a hand model. Like, too, but also changed my habits through time. Very different to the flower and bee thoughts I had. Well, exactly. Exactly. Things I was interested in, boys, when I was like 18, are not the same things I find attractive in men in my 40s. Okay, I am lucky that my man still has the things I'm attracted to now that I'm older, because the things that I had, like, things I find attractive, like in men, like, just like, I can observe a beautiful man, you know, if they're, cowboy jeans, or cowboy boots, the whole, a fireman, is usually nice looking, or a policeman or whatever, or anybody in a uniform. It makes them look smart and dress. Men tend to look at women with the least amount of clothing, while women tend to look at men who dress nice and clean cut, or even if it's not clean cut, that just has some sort of uniform. Like the rock star is not necessarily clean cut, but it's a uniform. It's a look. But so I don't so man with a beard. So my husband, when I first met him, he had a full beard. I got him down to a goatee. Um, I've never got him just with a mustache. So I've never got him completely clean shaven. I might have once, but his hair grew back. But see, the problem, I like the look of a beard. But kissing a guy with a beard, even kissing with a mustache, the face is all itchy. Sometimes, it's not as pleasant. I do think that it looks good, but it's the kissing part that's like, it has to be trimmed well. It can't be all like a big messy beard. And I thought that too, but well, then just tell her, just not your thing. Then just be honest, because honestly, if you are not honest with her, uh, uh, that is more harmful than having a weird fetish. You have to be honest with people. You have to tell them what you think in the most politest, nicest way possible. Because honesty, knowing that when you're talking to somebody that whatever comes out of their mouth is truth, or as close to truth, like they might be omitting something versus telling you the whole truth, because sometimes the truth might hurt, and depending on the situation, you might want to just like keep quiet for a little bit and then work in the truth. But omitting something, but knowing that whatever comes out of their mouth, like say with my girls, I tell them whatever comes out of your mouth, I want to know that it's true. I don't want to know that if I'm hearing a story from you that it's not true. And um, I want to believe whatever comes out of my girls' mouth. So whatever they say to me, I want to believe them 100%. I don't want to second guess them. And my girls know that they have never lied to me with that. Because lying for me is worse, because then I won't know if everything that comes out of their mouth is truth. I want to support them. I want to back them up. I am their biggest defender. But I want to know whatever comes out of their mouth is truth. Now, if they don't want to tell me something because they don't want to tell me, that is fine too. But if it comes out of their mouth, I want it to be truth. You know, some girls like strong hands on my hair, my butt, even my belly. Why not? Pedicure fresh out of the shower. Well, no, exactly. Because you don't think feet are gross. Well, exactly. What's funny is I have a friend. Actually, his name is Tom. He took a picture of his feet. He took a picture of his feet last week, and he had his daughter had painted his toenails. Okay, and I think it was just his big toenails. I don't know if all of them were painted. And I comment, I'm like, nice nails, and but it looked really nice on the man's foot. Like, and they weren't like painted pink or anything. They were kind of painted like a terracotta orangey brown, like a fairly manly color. But his feet were like manicured or whatever. But well, then tell her, then drop her like a hot potato and find somebody else. What else would you want me to say? Then tell her you don't like feet. And ask her to stop sending you pictures of feet or asking you about feet. It's not your thing. That is fine. And that means he is a real bit. Well, exactly. I mean, I sent my husband to work in hot pink dress shirt, the pinkish shirt I could find. I bought him for Christmas a dress shirt I got off Amazon. It's Port Authority, so it has the nice collar and the button-down collar, bright pink. I sent him to work like that because I'm like, it's Valentine's Day. I'm like, I was going to give him either his red shirt because I got him a red shirt at Christmas too. Well, just before Christmas, actually, we got Value Village, um, and paid like $12 for it. Bright red shirt, and it fits him. Oh, it's hilarious. But actually, I'll show you my recent laundry. For Christmas, he wanted bright shirts because he has this hot pink shirt, but he has a short sleeve shirt. But for winter, he needs long sleeve. Cool. I made it here just in time for the fetish discussion. La hot. Hey, I like real men who are good uh with their femininity and their masculinity wear pink. So one of the shirts I got him, I'll show you here. That was a shirt he wore on Tuesday. That bright blue, like it's electric blue. No, he's not colorblind. He's legally blind, but he can see the colors. He likes the bright colors, and he's gotten plenty of compliments on him. We're around my laundry room because, of course. Okay, so helping give him advice. Yes, we've been helping him on advice on. So here's my laundry here. So got him this teal blue shirt as laundry. Oh, and that's his bright red shirt with the white. This one I got him at Value Village for like $10. And that's his plaid one. So he has actually so when he likes something, so we have a long sleeve plaid, and here is the short sleeve plaid. So when he likes something, we got the long sleeve plaid, and then we got it trimmed to make short sleeve because we couldn't find. And then there's another light blue one. Oh, here's a color that you don't see that often in men's shirts: mango or marigold. That's one. So, isn't that nice? I call it school bus yellow too, but it's mango or marigold. Oh, and there's his other pink shirt. Though this one's a coral. This one I got him for Christmas. That one was a summertime one that he got himself. Yeah, this one's coral. So this one's like salmony, pinky orange. Yeah, that's his shirt. And then he has a nice lime green. That one's a lime green. It's harder with this light. Oh, I should maybe turn the light on. Oh yeah, so I have an LED light here, there, and it's off. Okay, so that's with it off, and that's with it on. So there's enough power that goes to the LED light that turns it on. So that's a lime green. Oh, and this is the ocean blue, I think it was, or seafoam blue teal. So oh, and then he has a lilac one, light purple, and I got him for Christmas a dark purple one. He has some plaid, and he's been really liking he used to do just dark and black, and then he liked weird Hawaiian style shirts, but what he really likes are these button-down collars because he doesn't like a tie, so he likes to just use a clip-on tie. So if you ever see like really cool clip-on ties or cool button-down collars. He's just send me a link or whatever, because he's a big, tall guy, so he's usually about a 3X, because he's like these ones. He said he got 3 or 4X. These ones I got him a bit big. He's like, they're a bit big, because apparently he's been losing weight because of my cooking. So, but he has a big neck and shoulders. So yeah, he really likes the bright colors too. Oh, this is his purple one that he wore the other day. Flip that around. See, that's the bright purple. Like it's like royal purple. Oh, what's other? Is any ones? Oh, this is the hamper. No, that's just the most recent. Yeah, well, he has a short. Find his short sleeve of the pink shirt too. It's probably in the closet because it's wintertime, so we're not wearing the short sleeves. Erg. Back sore. Oh. And I've got like 2 things of hampers of clothes to put away. I'm good at doing laundry, but it's the putting of the stuff away that's a pain in the butt. Oh, there's the pink. So here's the bright pink, the short sleeve. See? So I sent him with this pink, but in the long sleeve. Because he has a short sleeve of the blue and the pink. And then this one's a really old shirt. This is like 25 years old. It's like paint splatter. And green. Yes, the pink shirt. He's wearing the long sleeve shirt at work. And the pink shirt, the short sleeve one, is in the closet. Yes. For once, some clothes got put away. I'm awful at finishing anything. So I get the laundry washed and dried and put in hampers in the proper rooms, but not put away. So yeah, there you got the finally. What's dripping in here? Oh my god. The child. The child this morning left the water still dripping. I think. Not too bad. I know. The faucet. I blame it on Abby because she was in the washroom last. Yes, she was in the washroom last. And she washed her hands. Swear. I love them dearly. But they drive me nuts sometimes. I'm gonna get some coffee now. Erg. Hey Greg, how's it going? The weather's warm today. It's only -9 degrees Celsius. Going up to -3. I have to go microwave my coffee because it's been sitting here for a while in the pot. See, I still have some half-pot coffee. Rowan didn't grab coffee this morning. Usually by lunchtime, I have to make another pot because somebody grabs coffee. Oh. Heat wave, yes. It's a bombing. -9. I went and put the recycling out without a jacket on. I did wear a jacket when I went to the school, but I put some of the recycling out. I still have a box that I could put out, but it's covered in snow and I don't feel like digging it out. I'll wait till it melts a bit and go out the next time. Well, that's not bad. That's a decent summer day. A cooler summer day. One that you're not going to be completely like hot and disgusting. Oh, I was going to put the food away. That's why I came this way. Almost forgot what I was doing. Now I'm going to put, because see, there's only 2 more rolls left. I'm going to take them out of this container and get the whipping those. Yeah, no, not quite that warm. It's still set to, okay, so the temperature, I'll show you my temperature in the house. Yeah. So, it's 19 degrees in the house, but the setting is set for 17, so the heat is not even on, and it's 19 degrees in the house. And that's with the heat off. Because our neighbors like their houses hotter, and it seeps through to our side. So why should we spend money on the heat if we don't have to? Now I'm barefoot, so my toes are a little bit cold. Might put slippers on, just because my toes get a little cold. But I don't like wearing socks, so I'm like, slippers. Now I'm just trying to find a small container. Okay, to put these away. Oh, it's bright and sunny here too. Just cold. Like it's not warm, but it's not as warm, not as cold as it was the other day. North California Bay. Hubby gets to go to California to see sun this year. He gets to go to California during March break, I think it is, for CSUN. So that's California State University Network or whatever the N for the technology conference. So he is going to be there for a week. He's going as a participant, so this time he doesn't have to go as a demonstrator, because sometimes he goes as a demonstrator doing because it's for accessibility stuff. So sometimes he's there as a demonstrator showing off different accessibility thingies that they do. I don't know. I've never gone to see some. I keep on telling him that I should go along. Only problem is he's there at the conference all week from like 8 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night. Like sometimes there's vendor meetings or parties or networking things or something. I don't know. So he's not even back at his hotel. And the hotel is like where the conference is right by a whole bunch of hotels. Like there's nothing really around it. I'm like, that's okay. I could just tag along since he gets his own room. But I'm like, maybe after the kids are all away at school, maybe I'll tag along with him. It's fun. It's pretty there. Will be sunny. Well, yeah, but I don't know how Oh, you'll have my snow video. There'll be another one soon, and then there'll be another kitty cat video. I did one today with Princess of following her in the sun. She kept on moving where the sun was. Well, that's why I said I can go. I can find the bus transit or find a taxi and go to the beach and stay there and go there all day and come and meet you up for supper or something, or just stay at the hotel in the pool or whatever. I'm like, just book your hotel, one with a pool. I'm good. I can entertain myself. Or maybe I'll go to the conference too and learn about techie stuff. Probably not. Not my cup of tea. You have to shovel the snow. Yes. So shovel the pathway, and I got Rowan to shovel the pathway, and shoveled where my air vents were because the snow was up to my air vents. And she first didn't want to do it. I'm like, well, do you want to die of carbon monoxide poisoning? Because that's what's going to happen. It got done, and then we paid $30 for them to remove the snow. Especially when you don't have it, it makes it all snowy. White, when it's snow right now, at the fresh snow, it looks nice. Give it see the snow in March, you're like, ugh, it's dirty snow. It's old, dirty snow. Not as fun. Uh, so, um, videos that will come out. I will be making maple syrup toffee on snow today. I will be doing that as a video, and then I will also, my grocery haul should be up, I'd say by Saturday. And then there's a snow video, and then there's a bunch of videos that should go. There should be a couple of short videos of one I made tuna cakes. I just showed you what they were. Like, they were very easy, very frugal, very cheap. To use up leftovers. And one I showed what the porcupine balls looked like. And yeah, fair warning, if you do the porcupine balls, if you actually follow the recipe, it should make only one pan. I ended up making 3 pans because, well, I don't follow the recipe. And one pan I froze without sauce. One pan I froze after I cooked it with the sauce. And the other pan I have the leftovers in the fridge. So it's fed us one meal. Rowan had some for lunch. Um, and we still haven't had a second meal from it. So if it's not eaten, if it's not eaten by tomorrow, I will throw that right into the freezer too. And we'll have it another time. So it's one of those meals that just keeps on feeding you. So it's very good. Like, my family likes it, but there's only so much. Like, they've been having upset tummies this past weekend and stuff, so they didn't want to have too much tomato sauce, and that's what was in it. So, because tomato sauce is very acidic, so I'm like, I planned it, but didn't plan it out well. You know, because I knew my family liked them, and that would encourage them to eat them. But then with the tomato sauce, it's like, eh. So they had them one night. Rowan had some for lunch today. I've been trying to offer them to hubby. More snow coming to. Oh no! Don't say that about snow tomorrow. Yours all melted? Not even close. I don't see. I mean, look how bright it is outside. It is bright, but my snow in my backyard is, well, up to where almost my pallet garden is. So how big is a pallet? Is it 4 feet by 4 feet? So the snow in my yard is at least 3 feet deep, if not close to 4 feet. Oh, my driveway is just ice right now. Like, there's snow on it. Like, they removed the snow. There's a layer of snow on it, like a dusting, on top of my, like, 4 inches of freaking ice driveway. My garage door is still frozen. My little shed door is still frozen. My electric snowplow that's in my shed because I thought it was smart to remove it from the garage because I knew it was going to freeze, is still frozen to the ground inside the shed because it is still too cold to try and melt it with salt or even with hot water. Like, the hot water just melts the ice but then refreezes, so it makes it thicker. I've tried it. And we haven't had any real, like, the only time we had that was warmer was actually the day of the snowstorm. It was at -2 and went up to +5 because of the snow. And then that was it. Yeah, your driveway and street just look like, I mean, oh yeah, it would be probably safer to go on my driveway with skates than with my boots. So yes, it is very cool to look at, to drive or walk. Not so much. But I mean, that's the thing is right now is with pedestrians, like, the roads are clear. Even the side streets and some of the even more rural side streets still need to be cleared again. Like, they were cleared partially, but it's the sidewalks. Like, yeah, they cleared them, but when the plow. If you ever look at Angie's video, I think it was Angie that did a video. of going behind the plow or where there's still this much snow. So if you have a stroller or a shopping cart or that or even just mobility issues, you're walking in snow slush that is still a couple of inches above your top of your boots. How to skate though. Yeah. Well, this year we hope to go down to the canal. The things we do in the canal, we get maple toffee, we get fudge, we get hot chocolate, we get beaver tails. We skate a bit and we come home. And we see ice sculptures. I don't know how to skate. Oh yeah. Hmm. I don't like. Well, I like watching the final games of hockey. I don't like watching actual hockey games. So did you finish your lunch? So what was the email you sent me?
Oh, so I got an email the day after saying that I got into the other two programs. But they said it said something different under it, so
Okay.
I was very confused. So I sent it to you.
If you had a good Iowa team, we do have a good Iowa team. The Senators are good. I like the Senators. Rowan's like, no, they're not good at all. It's more of just I don't like any organized sports watching them. Like I like watching the Olympics a bit, but only a little bit. Like certain sports, and then even then, it's like, oh, I'll just watch the Canadians. Oh, how they're doing. What, Rowan?
Mom, you have to pick up Abby.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'm going. I have to see what.
Do you recognize this phone number, Rowan? 798-5555? I got a phone call,
I don't know phone numbers by heart.
but it doesn't say anybody's name. So
But yeah, I'm gonna come home, drop off some things, and then I'll go.
okay.
So you might not see me, or you might.
Not your phone number. Yes. I was gonna say somebody called when I was doing a live stream, and I don't recognize the phone number. But lately, I've been getting just phone calls from like doctors. Like, oh, if you'd like to upgrade your appointment, we have a spot like this afternoon. It's like, okay, I don't know about you, but I can't go to my dentist. Like, stop whatever I'm doing to go to my dentist at 2. Bye, Ro. Are you gonna wear your jacket?
I didn't bring one.
Where'd you leave it?
I left it at school.
Okay, so you left it at school.
I normally just run in here. That was my book, so I just go to the first period.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go to my locker for the outside of school.
Okay.
Because I got this.
Oh, bye. Yeah, I get a few. Like some of them are just like telemarketers. Like lately, I've been getting these ones that say, "Oh, would you like to have you're due for your car insurance renewal?" I'm like, we don't drive. Neither one of us has a. There's nobody in this household that has a driver's license. That means we also don't have a car. But our car insurance was up for renewal. I don't think so. I don't answer phones numbers I don't recognize. I wait till they answer my leave me a message, and then I will check it maybe and call them back. I actually for Christmas I got. I'll show you guys. Ouch! I got a welcome mat. Like I have two welcome. So I have one welcome mat that's Christmas, and it has like different people. Like there's a Santa, there's a snowman, a penguin, and something. And under each name, it has actually our whole family's names for Christmas, which is cute. Um, Jeff's the Santa, but I got one for the rest of the year. That is so me. It's hilarious. I showed it to Jeff, and I told him, oh, you should get this for me. And he's like, yeah, yeah, okay, maybe. Then I forgot that I asked him for it, and So it's going to go. That's going to be backwards. I'm going to show to put on the couch here, and this is our flip the camera. Friendly reminder: unless you call or text first, don't answer the door. That I got off Amazon. So this is awesome. Recognize it. Yeah, that's true too. Sometimes I don't answer the phone because I don't I don't have the mental energy to be talking to them. Have the message machine plugged in, it just rings. Yeah. So if you'd like this, and if this, there was other ones that were similar. I like the background of just being plain, but there were some that had like little squigglies or whatever. But I mean, I think it was about $20 or something like that. I don't know. But it has a rubber backing. It's not as wide as my front step, but it's about 2 feet by 18 inches or so. I haven't measured it, but it's big enough. Like it's decent size mat. But yeah, that is so me. I don't answer the door. The only time I answer the door, like today, I'm going to be answering the door because I asked Jeff. I'm like, should I be expecting a delivery? Because every year he gets me flowers, and but he usually gets. He used to get me like really expensive. I'm just stretching my back out here. Oh, my back. So usually he used to get me expensive ones. And I'm like, and then sometimes they would show the price with them, and I'm like, oh Jeff, don't spend so much money on flowers. They're just gonna die. I want the mat that says, now what? You can get a mat with whatever. Like, there's some already pre-made online, but we don't do flowers because I hate how much they cost. So yeah, so I told him, like, don't spend that much on flowers. Like, you can get them cheaper at, like, the grocery store if you were going to get flowers. Like, I like the thought of flowers. Like, I do appreciate the flowers. But they're going to die. And potted plants, they die too, just because my house doesn't get any sun. And the only sun that we do get, Princess lies in it. um, so he gets me flowers. But so a couple times he got them from the grocery store, which were cheaper, and they got them delivered. So you had to pay a delivery fee. Like one time he got me flowers from like, was it FTD or something like that? And it wasn't even as nice of a bouquet as you can get from the grocery store. So, and then last year's one I think I got from Costco, and got them delivered. Well, during Christmas time, just before Christmas, I was answering the door because, Amazon delivers and stuff. I hate how much they cost. At least send me something I can eat or use. Well, exactly. We do that too, but he always gets me flowers at Valentine's Day, sometimes as well on my birthday, but that's only 10 days after Valentine's Day. Usually the ones he gets me on Valentine's Day are still healthy and well by my birthday. So, but I only get flowers once a year anyways. So I appreciate it. Waiting for a publisher's clearinghouse to knock on my door with my winnings. But don't you have to, like, buy something to I really want some chocolate-covered strawberries. Ooh. Well, here I don't know if they have them where you are, but here you can get, like, bouquets, like these edible arrangements of bouquets with which they'll have, like, fruit cut out like flowers, but you can get, like, a box of chocolate-covered strawberries. Yeah, both birthdays soon. Yes, Amanda and Jen. Yes, we do in 10 days. 10 days. I'll be 39 plus shipping and handling. Yeah, I get to be 44 this year. We better see a picture of them or see them on the next slide. For sure. Oh, sometimes I don't see when some people are being sarcastic. I apologize. Or being funny. I sometimes take them seriously. As I said earlier, if you watch the first hour of this video, you'll see the discussion with Stinkbait about, like, I take people for what they say, and um, I expect them to be honest with me. Like, they can omit stuff, like they can not say anything. That's still them being honest by not saying something. But if they're going to say whatever comes out of their mouth, better be the truth. No, 29 plus shipping and handling. That's why I said 39, because I'm like, I doubt that anybody would believe I'm 29. And not that I'm ashamed of my actual age, but I'm now, like when they have the surveys, I'm now in the group of like 43 to 65. I'm like, I'm sorry. People who are 65 and me don't always have the same interests. Like if you're doing a survey, it's like there's 42, like it's what, 29 to 42, and then it was like 19 to 29, and then, you know, yeah. Well, when they do the surveys, like they ask your age, and you're now in this age bracket. I'm like, I don't know. So strange that they group. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Well, 31's a good year. 31 was good. Turning 30 was rough. Like going from 29 to 30 was a bit rough. Turning 40 was fine. Like it was okay. But turning 30 was rough. Just because, well, at that time I had two small kids. Um, and life was just very hectic. And you know how you have all these things in your mind when you're young, like when you're in school and college and stuff like that. You have all these things that you want to do before you're 30 because 30 is like so far away. Well, I hadn't done all those things, and some of those things I didn't want to do anymore. I'm too old to remember how old I was. I think, and then when I turned 40, there was some. I reevaluated my goals or whatever of what I wanted to do before I was 40, and the things I wanted to do, I think I succeeded at most of them. Other than want to travel lots, like I'd love to travel a lot, but I've found as I've gotten older, I like some of the luxury in the traveling, like camping. When I was younger, in a tent on the ground, perfectly fine. You know, I didn't necessarily like. I liked it, and then as I've gotten older, with like doing it with scouts, with cubs, beavers, for doing it for 10 years with them, um, not as fun. And my body, I appreciate actually getting possibly a few hours sleep in the middle, while camping. So camping in a cabin with a crappy mattress, much more like my liking. So that's the thing, and same with vacations. When we ever plan vacations, we always seem to get the cheapest deals and stuff, and not like a cheap crappy hotel, but like get to do hot wire or whatever, like those type of cheap deals where you don't necessarily know where you're going until you get it. Think of that every after. Well, that's good goals, and those are goals you can succeed at. It's always good to set reasonable goals, so you can at least check off some. But now, and when we choose vacations, some vacations are more work than others. So, like some vacations, depending on where you go, like if you go to a different country, you can get a cheap hotel, but then you still have to figure out food and transportation and what's in the area and stuff like that. While you can go and try and find cheap vacations that are like all inclusive, where you don't have to make those decisions. That's all kind of there. And then if you want to do anything extra, you can leave the compound or whatever and do stuff. While as I've gotten older, I've found that certain things I'm more scared of, I guess the word is. Like in a foreign country getting lost or whatever. So I'd much rather be closer to the compound or doing guaranteed schedulized um, excursions versus finding a company on my own, like Googling it and doing an excursion with them. I'd rather do it with like the hotel or with the whoever we're doing, like with the airline, like if we're doing Sunwing or Transat or WestJet or Air Canada, doing it with those type of things, where it's kind of guaranteed that it's guaranteed to take me there, it's guaranteed to take me back. But those type of things you have to save up for, right? Like Jeff is really good at financial stuff of planning and saving up for that. He's always saving up the year before we do the vacation. For example, for our, our next vacation, um, he's already saved up half of what he thinks it will cost. You know, and that's including the airfare and the hotel and like, well, not excursions. Excursions uh, we tend not to really do a lot of excursions, and if we do one, it's like go on a boat. We like the boat ride and go to another spot and like look at the ocean type thing, like look at the fishies. Nothing, nothing too crazy. Um, but he already saves up for it so that if he books it, like I don't know if we were just discussing it. I don't know if he's booked or not. When he books it, he's already puts down half, and then by the time that he has to pay the rest off, he's already has the rest, the other half. So, and then we don't have to worry about that type stuff. No. But when you have winters like this, you really like. I sort of can't wait till the girls are out of school. Well, even if they're in college, university, we still would probably have them come on vacation with us. They might pay their own way. They might not. Because right now, both girls are teenagers, but they're both are adult fare, adult at a hotel. Like actually, this year, go on vacation. Roan will be 18, so she'll be an adult in all senses of the word. And in some countries, she'll be able to drink. So I'm like, ah, that's scary of itself. Um, but she'll be going off to college this year, so but she'll be still living at home. As far as I know, she'll be living at home. That could change for all I know. Um, but it's cheaper to live at home, as we said. It's cheaper to live at home. Like we're not going to pay for her to live not at home while going to school. That's a 45-minute bus ride or 20-minute car ride if she got a ride. You know, less than 20 minutes sometimes. 20 minutes maybe during rush hour. 20, 30 minutes. So, but I did say to her, I'm like, well, if you think about it, you should get your license and then maybe save up for a car. Because you might want to do that instead. It's not what she said. She said college is time to party. Well, this is what college is time to party. When I was when I went to college, my friends who had college or university paid for it, they're the ones that partied. I paid for it all myself. I got OSAP, which was Student Loan Ontario Student Application Program. I got Canada student loans and Ontario student loans. There was no grants or bursaries that I got. Now there's a lot more grants and bursaries and scholarships you can get, but the scholarships are usually like $500. Well, $500 is not going to do anything. That's like paying for one course, you know. And so people who got paid for it, they partied. September they partied hard, 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 and then we were having midterms in like October, and they realized, oh shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. And a lot of times they failed courses or they failed tests and stuff like that. And they realized, oh, what I did in high school is not going to work in college. And honestly, the college professors don't give a rat's ass what your reason is why something is late. You had something in late, you have literally 2 days to hand in something late. The first day, you get 25% off your mark, usually. The second day, you get zero. So whatever your mark is going to be, like say if it was 80%, they take off 25% right away. Say you got like 55%. Yeah, 55%. Even if you got an 80%, because that is what they do. Now, the only saving grace, the only thing that they will give you extensions for, because when I was in college, my mom died. So I got to take off a whole week off school to deal with. Sorry, a week and a half. Maybe it was 2 weeks. I remember that because she died, it was in the middle of the week, so a whole other week and another, maybe 2 weeks. Now I got to take those time off, but I had to make up all the assignments that were handed in. I got an extension to hand them in within a week from taking that off. I was on placement, so the hours that I was supposed to do during that time, I had to make up and do them at the end. So what happened was at my placement, I was able to tack on an extra week at my placement before, like during exam week, or yes, no, I tacked on an extra week during the Christmas holidays because my mom died in October, and the program ended end of December or beginning of January. I can't remember right now, but I remember I tacked on my an extra week of placements. I had to make it to where I was on placement right in the Christmas holidays. Uh, See, yeah, I hated school. I liked college. I hated high school. High school sucked. That's because I went to one high school in grade 9, and then I moved to a whole other school board for grade 10 to 12. Well, at that school board was in Kanata, was Earl March, not where my kids go, but because my kids are at the Catholic school. And all I went to there in grade 10. Well, these are kids that have gone to school together most of their lives from kindergarten up. So I pop in grade 10, all the cliques have already been made. Everybody has their friend group. I didn't know what groups and stuff there were things to sign up, like what sports and stuff. I had signed up for soccer because I was good at soccer. Like I was good at defense. Like my nickname was Killer because I used to kick the ball and kick the kids beside the ball and injure them. It was a play I made. Um, but I went there, and here in Canada, everybody's on like competitive teams. So I made it to the third string of there was A team, B team, and C team, but then they dropped the C team. And same with volleyball. I was good at volleyball, but I was not as good as the other kids that were on the A and B team. I made the C team, and one we able to do it for half a term, and then the guy who was coaching it had to stop because he got injured, something else. I applied like I was I was the loser kid because I applied for the AV club because they had a really good play. Like every year they put on a play, the high school like High School Musical, but not usually a musical, but they put on a play, and the AV club was the group that you would get a credit for it, but you'd doing set design, so you'd be making all the sets and doing the lights and stuff like that, doing all the stuff for like when they had the play on, you know, collecting tickets at the door, etc. and stuff. But I couldn't even do that. I applied for the group, but it was full. I got rejected by the AV club. I'm sorry. I was not musically inclined for uh for a band. I took clarinet in grade 8 and that was it. So once I was high school, I did not have the skills to apply for band or anything. So I was not a jock. I was not in the sports. I was not with the popular kids by far. I was not one of the kids that had a license or a vehicle. I was not with the AV club or the nerds because I was not smart enough to be with the nerds. And I took machine shop and drafting and architectural drafting, and I was the only girl in in those classes. So, and the guys that were in those classes really did not. A lot of them just were in the because they were also in auto mechanics and stuff. They were going to go into trades, going to be an auto mechanic or going to be in something else like trades, and they had no inclination to be making friends with a girl who liked shop class. So he went to School of Hard Knocks and still failed. Yeah, come on. Machine Shop was fun. Awesome. Well, for Machine Shop, so we had at my school for grade 7 and 8, we had woodworking, and we did have a bit of machine shop. We had a bit of metal work. We didn't have a metal lathe though, but we had a wood lathe, and we had a home ec, cooking and sewing. And I still have my pillow that I made and my sweatshirt that I made in sewing. I still have my wooden bookcase that I made in woodworking. In metalwork, like when I did machine shop, I still have my salt and pepper shakers from woodworking. And in metal shop, I made a weight bench and a weight bar, a gnarled weight bar. I made what else? I made a metal planter box, and I still have the drawing for my architectural drawing. I drew for my grade 12 architectural drawing class. I had to draw a house, so I had to draw my a house I could build. So I would have to go look at that and see what like it had lots of rooms, and it had like I think a big huge garage for like crafts and stuff or whatever, like a big yard and windows and all that stuff. So you had to do it all according to code at that particular time. Now the code has probably changed in 20 years, but I really enjoyed that. But I didn't go. I went into mechanical engineering technology for a year and a half, and then I failed one course. I was the only girl in my program. Um, but I failed one course because this one course was a prerequisite for most of the next term, but a pass was 60, and I had like a 59. Typical 1970s when heavy machine ventilation was closing. Ouch. Yeah, I sometimes think I was born in the wrong time because I would have been really good at doing like trades. If I could go back in time, I would have went into trades because I'd be able to make more money and the skills are transferable. Well, so this was the thing. This this past year, not the one coming up, they made college basically if you could apply for OSAP, they had OSAP loans and OSAP grants and bursaries. So basically, they'd look at your income, depending on your income, you could pretty much get all grants and bursaries and pay only a little bit in loans. So like my friend who went to school this past year, she got $20,000 for a loan. But of that loan, she really had only 5,000 of it an actual loan. The rest were grants and bursaries. So she didn't have to pay any of that back. So all she has to pay is 5. Now she doesn't have to pay that back until the end. So I told her what I told my daughter too was any extra money you have, put that in an account, let it to make some interest so that the day that you have to start paying it back, they will give you usually I think it's a 6 months grace period to try and get a job in your field so you're actually making money. You'll have actually all that money in your bank account that you saved up and put interest in, and you could just go ahead and take it and dump it on this extra bit of clothing. Um, sorry, not clothing. Uh, bit of loan. I'm like, why did I say clothing? So, so that's what I hope to do with Rowan's stuff is her to take some of her monies that she has and that she'll have and put it into some sort of investment so that put it in for a year or whatever to invest, earn some money, earn some interest, and then be able to go and plop it onto her loan. Because for me, it took me 13 years to pay off my student loans, and mine weren't even that much. Because for 2 of those years, I was living at home, so I didn't get much student loans. 2 of those years, I was living away, and I got more. But I only wanted them to give me the bare minimum. But this year, we got a new Ontario Premier who seems to have taken a page out of your president's notebook and is screwing Ontario over. He took away the carbon tax thing, which was just anything was going to be helping with the environment. And it wasn't that much to begin with. And it was only affecting really the rich people, which he is one of them, not really affecting a lot of the regular or everyday people. He's taken away a lot of the grants and loans of saying it was instead of making school college, university pretty much free or pretty darn cheap for those who are in low income, and even those who are medium low income. Like we're not low income. We're about medium. We're not even medium income according to their stats. Like, but I would say we're medium income, but according to stats, they say we're still the lower end of medium. Anyways, um, it's not that bad, but for us, they would give us some grants or bursaries and some loan. Well, he took a lot of that away and saying, "Oh, we're going to lower tuition by 10%, but make the schools take that 10% cut, not taking out of the amount that the schools have to pay the government." Okay, which is like the schools are like, at least with the grants and bursaries, these were coming from the government. These were coming from private organizations trying to encourage people to be more educated so that they have the degrees and diplomas to get the better jobs so that they're not having to rely on minimum wage jobs, which in turn mean they make more money, they pay more in taxes. If you're a minimum wage earner, you are not paying anything really in taxes. The amount that you're paying in taxes, you're getting back. Now you lost me. I have no clue. Yeah, so our Doug Ford, his brother was the mayor of Toronto before he died. But his brother was known as being a drug addict, like taking crack, like literally, been videotaped and pictured taking crack at clubs. But he's taken a note from your president's uh, notebook of cutting things that would help people, like cutting a lot of these grants and bursaries to college universities, cutting school, like told like the schools, like public elementary schools, were you were not you were supposed to get this much funding this year. You're not going to get this extra funding. You have to do what you have. So all these schools that are older schools that needed this extra funding to update some of their technology, some of their computers, some of their equipment, some of their facilities are needing some repairs and stuff. They can't do it. They have to try and make do with what they're also he's also trying to increase class sizes, and he's also trying to take away we have currently full day kindergarten, and that's only been the past 6 years. Since that was the liberal government that got in and out, the conservative government is in the province. He wants to try and think about trying to take that away. Like at least it's on the plan for next year for being full day kindergarten. But if it was back to half days, well, there's more money that people have to go and now find half day daycare, have to pay more than that. This full day daycare, not that I necessarily agree with it because my kids would not have flourished in full day daycare. They barely did well in half day daycare. They were not morning people, and school happens in the morning, so um, they were just not. But some kids really flourish, and some kids, if they're from a lower income family, if the sooner that the kids can go to school, the sooner that the parents can be working full time jobs and not have to pay for daycare. because that's the thing is once if you're working if you're working uh, a minimum wage job, you're paying pretty much your whole check to daycare. Watch the weather. Yeah, I don't watch the news either, but I only watch the stuff that pops up that could affect me. A lot of the stuff doesn't affect me, like this daycare part. I'm like, my kids are older. It doesn't affect me anymore. But all the things that the liberal put into place, like they were putting, like they weren't perfect. Okay, nobody liked Win because she made some bad decisions with Hydro Ottawa with Hydro, and we were paying a lot in Hydro. So she made some bad decisions of some bad routes to go. Whether she made those decisions on herself or by her advisory, I don't know. But the conservative are like doing whatever the liberal did. We are doing the complete opposite. We're just cutting these programs. Like they were doing a pilot project of in southern Ontario for about 100 people. They were doing a pilot project of um, a guaranteed income. So instead of welfare and that, you were guaranteed a certain amount of money. And with that amount of money, you could use it to help better yourself. So you could use also that amount of money to help you move out of the projects, out of these the rent geared to income places to a better neighborhood where you might be closer to your work or whatever. You might be paying a bit more in rent, but it's a better neighborhood, so you have less break-ins, less violence in the area, whatever. Um, Also, you could use that money to go back to school. And like if you only have your high school diploma, you're very limited at to what type of jobs you can get. Literally, you got minimum wage jobs, and if you're lucky, you can get into the trades where you're getting paid more than minimum wage. But a lot of times they want some certifications, which you have to go and do. Um, so it allowed some people to go back to school to get a diploma in something to upgrade their life so they can make more money and then end up paying more taxes because all these people were currently either on welfare or disability, and giving them this extra money, they were doing the pilot project to see if they give them this extra money, what they would do with this extra money to help better themselves so that they can increase their internal wealth, and then therefore having to put them into the next tax bracket, which they will actually have to pay taxes that will go back to the government. So that's what they kind of want. They don't. If you're too low, if you're earning too little, you're of a level that the amount of taxes that you've paid, you will get all back because you're not even making enough for them to tax you. I just want to be entertained. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't like a lot of political stuff, but now I have kids, and they're going to go off to school. So some of the stuff I was concerned about because I'm like, this affects me. Now it doesn't affect me as much as it affects my friend who works as who is a single mom, works at a minimum wage job, not even full time. She works about 35 hours. Decided last year to go back to school part time so that she could um, get herself a diploma in something so that she can get a better job because her ex husband, who was working a good job in the States, so he works in the States, he lives in the States, she's in Canada, he lost his job. And instead, the past, since what, November, he hasn't paid her any child support for the kids, let alone the alimony that he was supposed to pay. He hasn't paid anything. So she's had to now work off of, you know, let's say $1,000 less income. Well, now they've changed it so that most of her stuff that she was getting as a grant or bursary, that she had a much smaller loan for next year, she'll have a much larger loan and she won't be able to necessarily be able to pay for it or afford it because she'll have to take less hours at work so that she can do more hours of school. Plus, her kids are a bit older, like they're teenagers and stuff, it's it's hard, you know. Like she keeps on feeling that she's in a rut, like, and there's no way for her to fix it. But, well, my phone's about to die as I'm just looking here, so I'm gonna let you go, and I will. You'll see a video of me doing the maple toffee sometime soon. That I'm going to be doing it today, but the video will be sometime soon. So that you should be entertained with and gooey, yummy, yummy. You have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine where you are. It's quite sunny here. Cold, not too cold, but bye and have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Wear something red or pink, or eat something red or pink. Cut in the heart. Have a steak and cut it into a heart. Bye, friends.